Girl, this Miami heat is insane. I need good vibes and a nice little refreshment right now, but I don't even feel like stepping back out in this heat.
Say no more. I got you. Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Oh, you trying to be funny.
I'm just saying, Starry Lemon Lime Soda is good vibes and a great taste in a can. I know you're a homebody, so you don't have to leave your house for what you're looking for, and you're an early bird, so no caffeine for you.
All right. Okay, you think you know me.
And do.
I'll give it to you. This is fire. Like a crisp, you know what I mean? Just good, clear bursts of lemon lime flavor. I'm into it. Okay.
Looks like you'll be seeing another soda this season. Peace out to your old thing.
I know that's right. It's all about elevating on this side. On to bigger and better in every aspect of life.
Find Starry now in stores and online.
So I think it's a lot of different experiencing Fashion Week, being out of town and traveling into New York for Fashion Week, and then living in New York and experiencing it as a New Yorker.
Going as somebody who works in fashion versus like a content creator, which I know was a big deal, but people were
I've seen some stuff this year. I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, Clutch My Pearls, like, influencers are having a bigger
people were very
influence. Hey, I'm Amanda Booz.
Hi, I'm Krystal Vega.
And this is Elevators
Podcast,
Podcast, where we talk about the peaks and valleys of life's journeys, from relationships, entrepreneurship, friendships, all the ships, all through the lens of modern womanhood. And sometimes I'll give you a little taste of social media sizzling hot topics, like today's episode.
Yes,
hey,
girl.
guys, we are back again with a different setup this time.
A little different, but I like it.
I like it too.
It's very comfortable. That couch was cute, but it was not the most comfortable to sit on for a long time.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how we like this setup. We may go back on the couch, but for right now we're good on this lovely day. How you doing, girl? What's new? What's going on?
I'm good. How are you? A lot. But how are you?
I'm good. Same.
What you been doing?
Well, I just came back from some travel.
Where?
Went to Bahamas. A quick little weekend trip.
Love that. You love you some Bahamas.
I do. I love Bahamas with my boo. So yeah, we did a quick little weekend trip in the Bahamas, and the trip was absolutely amazing. I did have like a little scare on the trip.
A scare?
Yeah, like a little scare.
Why? It was raining?
So we were flying back from the trip, and first of all, I have like a really, I don't know if it's like a fear of heights, because I don't mind getting on an airplane. I don't mind being like in.
I don't like flying at all.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. Like,
no, yeah,
I
I really don't like flying.
Any bump in the air, like, I'm holding onto the seat. I feel like I do get anxiety on flights a lot of times. Turbulence, I can't take it. My heart is literally beating like 100 miles per second. But we were flying back from the trip, and the pilot was like, turns back behind us and is like, hey, not to scare you guys, but there's an issue with the landing gear. Never in my life have I ever heard anyone say, not to scare you who's flying a plane that I'm currently on, that there may be issues with the landing gear.
Scared.
And I'm gonna give it to myself. I thought I was gonna be even more like anxious and more like scared than I actually was. But for me, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I don't know who knows I'm on this flight. Like, a few people obviously knew I was out of town, but like, I didn't get to do like the normal rituals that I do on a flight. Like, I normally would text like my parents, like, hey, I'm going here. Hey, I'm on my way back. Like, or like my friends have my location. Like, I may send one or two people a text like, hey, I'm going here, I'm flying back. Like, they'll know when I'm at the airport, when I landed, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I didn't normally do that. I always pray before a flight, which I always do. But I did do that. But it was just like, dang, like, it just makes you think. Like, I never really had like a flight scare. Have you had one? Like, that was really scary to me.
I always get scared when there's any amount of turbulence. And when you fly private, depending on the plane size, you will experience a lot of turbulence, and you will literally feel like you're just gliding in the air like a butterfly. So, yeah, I to me, the scariest is like turbulence. Any turbulence, even if it's like boom, boom, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, like, what's going on? And I'm looking out the window. I had to sit in the window.
Let me tell you, this was recently, actually. I was on a flight, and apparently for some airlines, they named their flights. It was a Boeing, which I was already scared about. But the stewardess was doing their introductions and all that, and they were like, and welcome to the unexpected.
I'm sorry, what?
Something like that. It was something like the unexpected, something like.
Did you ever see Manifest? Have you ever seen Manifest?
No. Listen to this. It was like the unimaginable, or like something that was just like, I was like,
that was the name of the flight?
Who signed off on this? And it was so funny. It wasn't funny because I was scared, but it was funny because I heard the name and I instantly looked to my left and my right, and I connected eyes with this black woman who was across the row from me, and we both looked at each other and looked around and looked at each other again and was like, so nobody's gonna say nothing about what the stewardess just said. And her and I were literally like, no way. Why would you call a plane that? We're literally about to take off and you call a plane like
the unimaginable.
The unimaginable, or like the unexpected, or it was just something really scary. I seen Final Destination far too many times. But everybody else around us was peachy. And me and her were like, nah, we on the same page.
Y'all locked eyes. We
on the same page.
I love that we can do that. You can literally look at, girl. You can look at your people and y'all don't even have to say 2 words and you know what's going on.
That was very scary for me, the entire flight, and I was flying to LA.
Oof.
There's always turbulence when you fly to LA from here.
Absolutely.
There's like a specific area, never fails. So I was very annoyed, very stressed.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and then one time I was flying to Miami and there was a serious amount of turbulence, like the light flickered and everything. I was like, ah! So
yeah, and I mean,
don't like flying. Private, commercial, it don't matter.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
Like it.
I'm like, they do say like flights are safer than cars. I hear you, but also like, who wants to hear or feel turbulence rather? And you're like 10,000 plus miles up in the air.
Yeah,
not me. I don't want to. No. So, with God's grace, I'm here today, and I am. God is good. For real. I was happy to touch the ground. We had to do an emergency landing, by the way. We had to do an emergency landing, change to another carrier, but we're here. I'm alive. God bless. Another day. Yeah.
Good.
What about you?
Girl, I just came back from New York Fashion Week.
Congrats on your event.
Thank you. It's so
Y'all did that.
We just did an event in New York. Thank you. Round of applause from our live audience. Yes. But yeah, we just did an event for New York Fashion Week, and we kind of like kicked off New York Fashion Week, and it was really dope. It was awesome. We had a good time. New York Fashion Week is always so interesting to me, though. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot going on. All the time. Mm-hmm. Every day. Every hour of the day. And like when you live in New York, it's not fun. You want everybody to get out of New York because the traffic is insane. Yeah. But when you're attending New York Fashion Week, it's a vibe. It could be a vibe. Yeah. Depending, I
miss Fashion Week.
Do you?
I do. Like, living in New York City, I feel like those are one of the events. You know how, like, being down here, you look forward to, like, your Art Basel. You look forward to the F1s, or you look forward to, like, Swim Week or things like that. Like, living in New York as a girl from, like, South Florida, and, I lived in a couple other places, but, like, New York is the Big Apple. Like, you hear of, the elaborate New York Fashion Week events. I love Sex and the City, so I always remember them going to shows and stuff like that. So I'm like, I get to go to a show. Like, I was so excited about it. So, like, I wonder if it's, I haven't been to a Fashion Week show in a long time.
Can you talk about your first, like, New York Fashion Week?
Yes, and I'm going to put some pictures, because I know we talked about, like, pictures. Yes. So we're going to put pictures up of, like, some outfits that we've worn and stuff like that. But I remember my first Fashion Week. I literally, it was, like, I don't know if it's in the same area, but it was, like, near Chelsea Pier. Like, it was down, like...
That's possible. There's fashion shows.
Yeah, there's fashion shows, by the way, all throughout the city. But there's, like, specific areas where, like, the main shows happen. But, yeah, like, I remember just walking the street. People were like, can I take your picture? Can I do this? And I was like, okay. Like, absolutely. Like, I enjoy the process of getting dressed, getting ready. And, of course, like, I wore this outfit, I think, and I had, like, hairpins, like, all in my hair. And I think I went to a gas station and I, like, struck a pose. Like, I did, like, a photo shoot. You just feel like you want to just be so extra during Fashion Week.
Yes.
Like, that's one thing I love. That is the time to literally pull out your most fashionable art piece of clothing that you don't get to wear on a regular day when you're hopping on the train, and literally make a statement walking down that concrete. I loved it. I loved being able, of course, I didn't get to sit front row at the shows at the time when I went. I think I went back in 2016. I went a couple times. I think 2016, I think I went again in 2018. And it was just like a certain high I was on. I was like, I went to different events. I went to different shows. I did something with like they had like a booth, and you could do like a runway like show thing that you did, like, it was just a lot. Like you said, going on,
It's
but
a
it was
lot.
fun. It's exciting.
Yeah, I feel like if you go to New York Fashion Week as like an influencer or a talent, you're able to like show out and put on your best fit. So like photographers take your picture and you end up in a magazine all of a sudden. But like if you work in the fashion industry and you're there to like cover the event or something like that, they're wearing all black. That's how you can tell like who works in the industry for real and who's like going as talent or an influencer, because people who are working to like cover an article or whatever the case may be, they're all black and they're at every show. Second row, first row, like those are the girls who like, or the women who like work in the fashion industry or people in general. But for the talent, I guess we definitely get to have a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
I remember my first New York Fashion Week and it was cool. I was very underwhelmed.
Really?
I was super underwhelmed. Of course, I wasn't front row. I wasn't at like the biggest shows either. But just the whole thing for me, like maybe it's because I'm from New York. I'm like, y'all could go now. Like, no, but I'm also like,
it's Fashion Week every day here.
Hello, it is Fashion Week every day. Because I was just
really
about to say, like, don't get me wrong, like, I love to drip or drown, but I'm also like, all right, this was cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was cute. I remember I went to a couple of shows. My outfits were calm. Like, it's just a lot. And I feel like, you know, if you going into New York Fashion Week, you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, you do.
And maybe I wasn't prepared.
Also, like, there's a lot of elements, right? Like, when it comes to going to Fashion Week and living in the city, like, you have to make sure your outfit can work with whatever weather is that day. You got to get on the train. So you might not even be wearing the shoes that you're going to wear at the fashion show because you're packing a different pair of shoes to get to where you're at. So I think it's a lot of different experiencing Fashion Week, being out of town and traveling into New York for Fashion Week, and then living in New York and experiencing it as a New Yorker.
Absolutely.
Different.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. And also, like, kind of what we were saying, going as somebody who works in fashion versus, like, a content creator, which I know was a big deal last year. Like, people were so mad. I feel like people didn't talk about it on social media this year, but people were
I've seen some stuff
mad.
this year.
Really? What are they saying?
I did. And so also for, like, those that don't know when it relates to, like, Fashion Week, right? Because, like, Krystal and I are talking about a time when, like, Fashion Week, like, I think I went to a show one time, and I want to say, like, Tiana Taylor was in the show, Cardi B was in the show. Like, there was, like, big artists in the show. There was other artists that I'm, like, honestly not remembering right now to mention. But it was very celebrity-driven. Like, of course, the models, like, you know the who's who when it comes into the modeling industry and who was in the shows. But, like, they would always have, like, brands would always have, like, an it factor where it was, like, maybe the last outfit was, like, worn by a celebrity or there's somebody's walking. But in, like, the first couple of rows, you can look out and see that there is a celebrity, multiple celebrities that are sitting in those specific seats that are typically reserved, right? But now I feel like tables have turned, and I've been seeing it. I know you probably said it was more last year, but I've seen it again this year, that, like, there's been, like, a shift in the industry where a lot more influences are said celebrities or said, you know, high profile people that are getting those front row seats as well. So I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, Clutch My Pearls, like, influencers are having a bigger
people were very
influence.
Annoyed. I remember last year more than this year, for me personally, I heard a lot of people being super annoyed by, like, influencers and content creators because they got their phones out a lot, which I can kind of get, like, the annoyance of having you know, phones out in situations where typically, like, phones really shouldn't be out or aren't, like, really out. You get what I'm saying? But I also felt like the other side of it is where, to me, it felt like it was a bunch of gatekeepers who, you know, were upset that, like, somebody has opened the doors for other people to be invited to those events. Because to me, it's like the whole point of even having celebrities there is for to create brand awareness, right? Absolutely. And, like, if influencers
are now doing that,
you know, are assisting with the brand awareness, then what's the difference? Besides the fact that more people are coming in and you can no longer be pretentious and snobbish, you get what I'm saying, and say, oh, I went to this or I went to that. Like, no, it's more accessible for people, and, like, y'all mad. You know?
Influencers are essentially creating their own table. And I think that it's dope that, you know, times have changed in a sense of, like, what we've known it to be and what it is now, because I also think that, to your point, like, influencers are pushing the needle and also having a voice on what is the next trend, because trend in their eyes, right? So I think that it's one of those things where like times are changing. Like how we used to consume news by going on the blogs, and like I could name blogs right now that probably don't even exist to this day.
Right.
And those are blogs that were around when I was at New York Fashion Week. Now it's TikTok. Now it's Instagram. And these influencers have their own platform, and brands are hiring them, and brands are dressing them to come to their events
they
because
get ready
they have
with me. Like,
the influences.
Of course, they're gonna be at New York Fashion Week. They're talking about they're showing their followers what they're wearing now. Like nobody's looking just at the celebrities anymore, especially in terms of like what people can afford. You get what I'm saying? Like people are talking about what they find on this platform for this, or what dupe they find on that platform. You get what I'm saying?
And you know what I love about it, Krystal? I love the relatability, because I feel like the celebrities that were experiencing Fashion Week, I couldn't relate to it. Like I could never say, oh, I can see myself doing it on that level. I didn't have a driver picking me up in my house. I wasn't have Vogue getting ready with me. Like now you can literally open Vogue and see like people that look just like us, or who literally created their own space on the internet and have their own community doing it. And for the average girl or guy, they're like, yo, like that's like my homegirl. Like I feel like I relate to this person. Like it's a tangible goal that I can also get to. I love that. Hey, elevators. This episode is brought to you by Ford. You know we love dropping gems on ways to elevate in life, so we had to take a moment to talk about why being open to new roads is so crucial when chasing your goals.
See, because when you're on a journey to elevate your life, staying flexible and ready to adapt can unlock amazing new opportunities you could have never imagined. It's all about finding the freedom to change course.
So if you're feeling the vibe to break out of your usual routine and reroute your journey, lean into it. Reinventing yourself is such a powerful way to live more fully and get the most out of every moment.
On the road of reinventing ourselves, it's just as vital to find those little things in life that gives us a sense of stability, like the new Explorer.
Turn up the adventure with Ford digital experience, including a 13.2-inch center touchscreen where you can always watch the latest episode of Elevators. Don't forget who put y'all on.
Start your next adventure in America's all-time best-selling SUV. Based on S&P Global Mobility 1946 current U.S. total new cumulative registrations for all vehicles identified as SUVs. The new Ford. Well, you know what it is. It's all in the name. The new 2025 Ford Explorer, built Ford proud.
I agree. And I love that you said fashion is always like changing, because I feel like I have been myself in so many different fashion eras. Like right now I'm kind of struggling trying to figure out what pocket I'm in. And the weather down here in Miami has a lot to do with it, because I'm still looking at my New York winter coats. I'm like, what am I going to do with this $4,000 coat? I'm like, what? Like, you know, so I'm struggling trying to find my sense of fashion, because in New York, the winter time, that's our get fly season.
It is.
Like that's our
fall, winter. Absolutely.
fashion sport, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure it out over here. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like I have been through so many different fashion eras. And it's so funny to see how things are coming back into like
in style, right?
Like the Juicy Couture,
I love
the
it.
True Religions, like
Jeffrey
things that I used to
Campbell,
wear.
yeah.
Jeffrey Campbell, things that I used to wear in high school are finally coming back. But you know what hasn't come back?
What?
The things we was wearing to the clubs when we were 21.
My God. Can we talk about club era? Like, first of all, remember when they were eating the girl up, when she was like, the girls don't dress up anymore, and they were eating
She wasn't
her up.
lying. She wasn't lying.
So I know people were getting on her about what she had on and about her saying how old she was. Y'all are mean. But I honestly agree with you. She was not lying. People do not dress up how we used to dress up. And let's be clear, like, there was different eras of club clothing. But the era that I remember when I was in college, like going into like graduating, we were in that business casual.
Girl!
We had on that blazer. It may have been nothing underneath. It might have been a bra. It might have been some shorts. And you had on some platform heels, okay?
Girl.
You didn't have on stilettos. You had the heel that had the extra 5 inches at the bottom of it.
Shut up with the peep toe.
With the peep toe. Literally
Girl.
only a big toe seeping out the front.
I used to want the Louboutin nude ones with the peep toe so
Oh my gosh.
bad.
Yo, Louboutins were so popular back then, and they had the platform game on lock.
Girl, they had it in a chokehold.
Sequence. Remember Sequence? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna bring it back a bit. Do y'all remember BB?
Yes,
BB.
baby.
Oh, y'all call it Bebe in New York?
Bebe.
Oh, God. BB, honey. It was BB.
Yo, that was a moment.
Where did you get your club clothes from back in the day?
Girl, I don't even know.
I'm going to tell you.
I feel
BB,
like the original Fashion Nova, like probably like Rainbow or something like that. I don't know.
I want to say we had Forever 21, which I know is still
Forever
there.
21.
Forever 21.
Big on Forever 21.
BB, Bebe. We had Marciano. Remember Guess Marciano? Marciano was like another version of Guess. I don't know if they had that in New York. Oh my God, what else did they have?
Well,
Wet
in New
Seal.
York,
They had Wet Seal. Wow.
Oh, yo, you're taking it back. Listen, let me tell you something. We had in New York City, because everybody was dressing business casual, there was a place by the World Trade Center that was called De Janeiro's, and they would have like blazers for $50. And like my mom put me on because she would wear that stuff to work. So I would get a lot of my like club fits, like the peplum tops. Mm-hmm. Big. First of all, those are never coming back.
I love the peplum tops.
Don't bring those back.
I love peplum tops.
But yeah, I was getting stuff like that from the spot in New York City, and what a time to be alive.
So I loved club era, but an era I loved was urban wear era. I loved the Jabot jeans, the baby fat, the apple bottom jeans, like middle school. Yeah, so I loved. Yeah, so high school was like the club dressing era, but I still like miss urban. High school club.
Yeah,
high school club, but I mean high school, college, teen night, high school, college. But I miss urban. I miss like urban wear.
Yeah, like Anichi.
Yes.
Which, by the way, was never Aniche. It was NYC or something like that, right?
Really?
Yes, I think so. I could be wrong. There was a brand, I can't remember off the top of my head, but like there was a brand that we used to pronounce it a certain way, and it was literally something NYC, and I think it was Anichi.
Really?
I could be wrong.
It might have been. What was it? Was Baby Fat, Rockaware,
Baby Fat, apple bottom jeans,
boots with the fur.
Girl,
listen.
Wow, that was an era.
Throwback.
You know what? Oh my God, did you guys have G-Unit sneakers down here?
Yes.
Because that was a thing.
G-Unit?
That was a thing for us.
G-Unit sneakers was a thing.
Not the blue and white G-Unit.
Yo,
oh my God.
I can't believe. Like, I'm going to have to find pictures. We got to find pictures of we used to wear this type of stuff. I know you got some. I have some. I'm going to find some.
I'm trying to think what else we used to wear. Wow. J-Lo, when J-Lo came out with her stuff.
J-Lo definitely had an era.
I was definitely wearing J-Lo.
Yes.
Her capris with the jean jacket to match.
Yes.
Isn't it so funny how capris came back all of a sudden?
I love that. So I love how fashion repeats itself.
For sure.
I love how things repeat itself. Even like, I know back in the day when we were talking about like club era, like animal print was big. Like cheetah print, like all types of animal print. Snake print.
Snake print heels.
Snake print heels.
Nah, I'm cringing right now.
That's crazy.
You know why I love how fashion repeating itself? Because I get to keep my stuff.
You don't let it go, right?
Baby, all that Juicy Couture I had in high school that I bought too big, vintage, honey. It's in my closet. All my True Religions, vintage. It's in my closet.
That's one of my things I look forward to, like becoming, God willing, when I become a mom, is I want to be able to pass down my stuff to my daughter. So I'm gonna be like, this is what we used to wear back in the day. You know, it's so funny. I seen a video on social media where a girl was like doing a video, and she was like, "Hey kids, this is grandma. This is what I used to look like, so you guys can see that I'm not."
God!
And I'm like, I need to make a video like that and just save it.
God.
Yeah,
I really do like that.
I'm gonna show it to you. It's super funny.
That's so funny. You know what? What I can't get over though, like the new designers. Not all new designers, but like a lot of upcoming designers, I just can't get. Like growing up, I would like drop a bag on Burberry, True Religion, stuff like things that had good quality. But like now, like it's so hard for me personally to support, not all, because I know like y'all love to eat me up, but like some designers.
Don't eat my girl up.
Because the prices are outrageous and they don't match the quality.
And the quality is horrible.
Quality is horrible.
Yeah.
And like there are some high-end fashion brands that do the same, so like don't get me wrong, but for me, like somebody who's like into dressing and stuff, like I love finding a new upcoming designer that I could like put on and that people are like, oh, where you got that from? Like that's my favorite. But it's so hard to do when the quality don't match the price. And like sometimes I shop for labels, but a lot of times like I prefer to shop for the material and the quality.
Yeah.
So like I just can't get with like spending $300-400 on like upcoming designers who are not putting in the real work and like education behind their pieces to provide their customers good quality pieces.
I feel you on that. I really haven't been like shopping lately. I've been like taking a pause on it. But have you found any like new designers that you feel like their quality is good right now?
Well, I love me some Laquan Smith. And low key, now that I think about it, a lot of his stuff be business casual, or like business funky, like business edgy.
Yeah.
So that makes sense because we're from like the business
same era.
casual.
That makes perfect sense.
I love his stuff. I like Hanifa. There are a couple of designers that I really like, but like I'm just not into spending a lot of money on poor quality stuff. And like I said, there are some high-end designers who do that as well, like Louis Vuitton. Some of their stuff is coated canvas. It's not even leather. It's literally like canvas. You know what you paint on? A canvas. It's coated canvas, and you're paying over $1,000 for those pieces, but you know, you're paying for the name.
I agree.
Or like a Chrome Hearts t-shirt. Like I would never spend my money on a Chrome Heart t-shirt ever again.
Why?
You wash it once,
It's bad.
By the way, I'm a wear and tear person. I want to wash it how I want to wash. I want to use it how I want to use it.
Because it should last for the money that you're spending.
It should last for whatever I'm spending. But like I wash my Chrome Heart t-shirt maybe like once or twice, and like it's just dingy. It's like a Hanes t-shirt with their logos on it, and that's the one thing I would never buy again. Their t-shirts. But there are other pieces that are in the store are high quality. But they seen how people were into their t-shirts and they just
ran with it.
Yeah, went crazy, which is a smart business move. But there are other pieces that are like $4,000, $5,000. They're expensive, but they're good quality.
Yeah. To your point, I think what I'm gonna stop doing is buying designer costume jewelry because I feel the same. I feel like the same.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Gold plated. Why? I just need to get the gold piece. Like it's expensive for no reason.
Insane.
Like, buying a designer earring, necklace, whatever it may be for just the cost is literally we're just paying for the name of it. So I don't know. What's something that you're thinking right now that you really want to get these days?
What is a piece that I really want? I think
You're like, there's so many.
There's so many. I think my one piece that I really want is a Kelly bag, like a mini Kelly.
I already knew that was
white.
coming. I knew it was coming.
I just want one in white with like a little bit of tan on it. That's all. That's
all
it.
you want?
I think
you're like,
if
I don't
get
ask for much.
That bag, I don't ask for much.
It's just $20,000.
Right. Just a little mini Kelly.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think like my bag collection will be done. Like I love me some Chanel. Don't get me wrong, but I think a mini Kelly is all I'm missing in my life.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then whatever else comes after that. But I think I really want a mini Kelly.
I feel like I want one too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm over here like, but no, I definitely. And also, I want to get more like bags and like kind of up and like build my collection.
It's an investment.
It's an investment. Like men have watches, women have purses. You know, men have whatever, shoes, clothes, whatever it may be. Women may have jewelry and things. I think it's whatever it is that makes you happy and things that you love. And I think that if that's what it is and you want to save up for it, do it.
Go for it.
You deserve it.
Yep.
And also when you get said thing, wear it.
Yep.
Don't just keep it in your closet. And that's one thing I wanted to say because I feel like so many of us have that mentality of when we have something nice. I know I used to be like that too.
I am
if
like
I
that
bought
still.
something super nice and I'm like, oh, I don't want to waste it on this. And it's like, God forbid, you don't know what could ever happen to you. Like I talked about at the top of the show, you know, my scare with the flight. But I'm like, I'm going to wear my stuff. No, for real. I've gotten out of that mindset. Like before I was like, oh, I want to keep it in the plastic. Y'all, I kid you not. I actually have a question. Are you a shoebox person or are you not a shoebox person?
I stopped being a shoebox person a couple years ago, but I was a shoebox person.
I just stopped. And I realized, because I had moved, I'm like, There's so many shoes I haven't even touched that I was waiting on or, you know, wanted to wear for a special occasion. And you don't realize it, but your shoes like deteriorate in those boxes.
Yes.
I wore a pair of Air Maxes one time
and it came off.
And the sole came off.
Girl.
What's in the box?
Because you don't wear them. Because you don't wear them. And I had to learn that the hard way too. I had a bunch of Jordans and I gave my little cousin a pair of my Jordans. Well, he asked for a pair of my Jordans to wear to school. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I only wore them 2 or 3 times because I was saving them. And the sole came off. I'm sorry. They came off. He was like, they came off at school. I'm like, my bad. Like, but I hadn't worn them. I didn't know that happens.
Yeah.
But I hadn't worn them since like high school, but I preserved my sneakers so well. And then once that happened, I started giving my sneakers away to like my nephew and my little cousin. Because I'm like, what? These are just sitting here in the box, and they're like retro, good sneakers. So they literally went to waste.
And we're thinking it's gonna be worth so much, but it can't be worth nothing.
It can't be worth nothing without a sole, baby. But that's why I used to keep my boxes too, because like if you wanted to resell, or like I came from the sneaker reselling era. So like even for heels, if you want to sell it on,
I missed those.
Yeah, remember that? I never bought used
like
sneakers,
sneaker
but
cons
I would like
and
to
all
sell
that.
my stuff.
By the way, we were sneakerheads back in the day, okay? Even though we were kid size, I used to camp out for sneakers. Like, I remember that might be another show where we need to talk about like fashion in that era was like camping out for Jordans. I was like a recovering sneakerhead. What a time to be alive.
Crazy. We was jumping through hoops.
We got Kids Foot Locker and we was there before they clocked in.
3 hours.
Before they clocked in, and if you had a connect, you was
lit. I had a cousin who worked at Champs.
Oh, you were lit.
Period.
I didn't have a connect. I was in that line, so it was
good.
Good. Yeah, but wear your stuff. More story is wear your stuff for sure.
Wear your stuff. Get good quality pieces, because I will say, even though I kind of like pooped on Louis Vuitton a little bit, I do have a bag that my boyfriend recently was like, yo, when I bought you this, like, I didn't realize how much you were going to use it. And I was like, damn, I did do a number on this bag. And it's like a travel bag.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, if I had $1 for every time I wore that bag, I got my money's worth.
I love that.
Over 2,000 times. Like, I wear that bag like it's nobody's business.
As you should. Wear your stuff. We spend too much money on items, whether it's designer, whether it's not designer. We work hard for every nickel, dime, and penny we make. You deserve to treat yourself and wear your stuff.
For real. But thank you guys so much for joining us for this quick little catch-up. We really appreciate it. And if you were in New York Fashion Week, I hope you was out there killing it. Enjoy. Don't let no gatekeepers bring your energy down.
Keep
do your
creating
thing.
that content.
Create that content. But know when to turn the flash off.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's continue to change and shift the narrative as things evolve and grow. Thank you guys for all the support and love that we've been getting on this. Anything that you guys want us to talk about, people that you want to see on the show, drop in the comments. We would love to hear more from you guys. But until next time,
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.